Many people out as they can. We're going to take you along on some high-stakes missions.
And President Bush is headed back to the region this morning. His schedule completely rearranged after his administration has been slammed for what many people called an unacceptable and slow response to this disaster. Also, new questions today about the man the president chose to head up the Federal Emergency Management Agency, Michael Brown. Where did he come from, and was he really ready for such a big job? We're going to take an in-depth look.
Before we get to that, though, President Bush's announcement this morning that he wants John Roberts to be the next U.S. Supreme Court Chief Justice. NBC's justice correspondent Pete Williams is outside the Supreme Court with more on that this morning. Pete, good morning.
Matt, good morning to you. The news comes as they're preparing for the public funeral tomorrow for Chief Justice Rehnquist, an opportunity for people to pay their respects here at the Supreme Court tomorrow and again Wednesday, and then the funeral Wednesday afternoon. But the president's announcement, if confirmed, would make John Roberts the third youngest Chief Justice ever and the youngest in more than 200 years. The president says the Senate should move quickly because he says senators are already familiar with John Roberts.
The past 2 months, members of the United States Senate and the American people have learned about the career and character of Judge Roberts. They like what they see.
Now, the Senate was scheduled to begin confirmation hearing for Roberts to succeed Sandra Day O'Connor tomorrow. The question now is, might that be delayed both because of the Rehnquist funeral and because now that's a new question, Roberts for Chief Justice? And we don't know the answer to that yet. Expect to hear it later today. And then the question is, when would the president have the nominee to succeed Sandra Day O'Connor? Would the president want to wait until the Senate is through voting on John Roberts to leave that as uncomplicated as possible, or will he try to act quickly to try to keep the court at 9? We don't know the answer to that yet either, Matt.
Yeah, a lot of unanswered questions. Pete, thank you very much. That's Pete Williams at the Supreme Court this morning. 3 minutes after the hour, here's Natalie.
Matt, thank you. Let's turn now to New Orleans, still largely underwater this morning, and now it's time to recover the dead. As we've reported, the toll will be devastating. According to one report, more than 10,000. NBC's Carl Quintanilla is there as searchers continue their grim work. Carl, good morning.
Good morning, Natalie. It was 1 week ago this morning that Hurricane Katrina made landfall, and today New Orleans begins that monumental challenge of collecting the dead, possibly tens of thousands. Officials have set up an emergency morgue south of Baton Rouge in a riverfront warehouse. And meanwhile, a chaotic and deadly weekend involving shootouts between police and those who say they do not want to leave. Gunfire on an open highway between police and alleged suspects. Fires that rage out of control, surrounded by water that is worthless to fire trucks. It's all part of the unprecedented challenge facing rescue workers, dodging the perils of a city on its knees, while still delivering help to those stranded. Hello! Michael Adams with the Baton Rouge Fire Department says even the water is hazardous.
You got the cars, you got the fluids from the vehicles. You also have, well, some people that didn't make it, their, bodies floating and stuff like that. So.
Part of the problem is the surprisingly large number of people who never left, saying they had enough food.
We got about a 90-day supply.
Or could not leave their pets. Already, some 200 policemen have reportedly walked off the job. 2 reportedly committed suicide. And it's not just rescue workers under pressure. These levee repairmen have been abandoned by their police escort, who'd been called to respond to deadly gunfights.
We're more or less stuck right here in the middle right now.
Now that the military is moving in huge convoys of soldiers, concerns that too strong a military presence in too small a space could cause accidents, crashes, like this helicopter rescuing pets which rolled over in the mud. No one was hurt, but it's just what residents of New Orleans do not need as they decide whether to leave a ravaged city.
Yeah, but he's going to be an urgent medical once we hit the dock.
Or tough it out. And you are looking at a live picture of former President George W. Bush. He and former President Bill Clinton announcing a fund this morning to raise money for victims of Katrina. That fund called Bush-Clinton Katrina Fund. And if you want to donate, the website that they are building and announcing this morning is bushclintonkatrinafund.org. Natalie?
And Carl, before I let you go, you showed a lot of the pictures how rescuers are still trying to get to those survivors out there and trying to recover those who are dead. At this point, do we know, are any of those areas, have they been secured? How many areas have been secured, and how many areas are still virtually unpassable?
You're right. We should not paint a picture of the city being in complete disarray, because there are pockets of security. The major hotels, in some cases, have been taken over by FEMA officials. The National Guard has taken over some entire city blocks, secured a perimeter, and made that their base of operations. So there are large areas of the city that are very safe, very well protected. It's that random and isolated violence in other neighborhoods that still has city officials concerned.
Carl Quintanilla, New Orleans. Thanks so much, Carl. It is now 7:07 Pacific time. Once again, here's Matt.
All right, Natalie, thank you very much. Further to the east in Mississippi, there are some signs of renewal this morning. Electricity is being restored and some basic necessities are arriving for the victims of the storm. But the death toll is rising as well. NBC's Ron Mott is in Biloxi this morning. Ron, good morning to you.
Matt, good morning to you. It's been just 7 days since Hurricane Katrina stormed ashore here, bringing a lifetime of change and a new way of living that's well underway. Help and hope continue to arrive in storm-battered Mississippi. By road, by air, by sea. Carrie Earl of Colorado Springs rounded up a 26-foot truck, filled it with food, water, pet supplies, diapers, and drove all night to help those in rural towns she says are being overshadowed.
It was just sad, especially the smaller communities that have nothing to begin with, and they're forgotten.
FEMA relief touched down Sunday in a Florida Air National Guard chopper. The need apparent near Picayune on the Mississippi-Louisiana border.
To me, these people are coming up to you and wanting to shake your hands, and very, very grateful for any kind of help.
On the beach in Biloxi, bulldozers and loaders rolled off Navy hovercraft to clear debris-strewn Casino Row. Elsewhere, power's coming back on. Gas is going back in. As of Sunday night, the confirmed death toll was highest in Mississippi. At least 161 people killed, bodies stored in refrigerated trailers outside funeral homes. Officials fear fatalities are certain to rise.
We're not happy.
Countering criticism, the state's emergency management director says he's not happy with the progress, but noted it is progress.
When you look back a week and how far we've come, that we truly have come a long way, but we've got a long way to go.
Officials here say search and rescue efforts continue in earnest with success. Last night, a dramatic rescue in Gulfport, postponing, they say, the more ominous recovery mission. Matt.
Hey, Ron, before I let you go, we're hearing some ominous numbers coming out of Louisiana in terms of possible fatalities. What are people in Mississippi saying? Do they have a handle on it yet?
Well, Matt, they just updated the number this morning, grew 6 overnight to 167, and they expect that number to climb much higher.
All right, Ron. All right, Ron, thanks very much. Ron Mott in Biloxi, Mississippi this morning. Once again, here's Natalie.
Matt, thanks. Well, 250,000 refugees from Hurricane Katrina are in Texas this morning, and the state's governor says he can't handle any more. Now let's head about 400 miles west, where NBC's Ron Allen is at the Houston Astrodome, which is filled to capacity. Ron, good morning.
Good morning to you, Natalie. Texas expected to receive about 75,000 evacuees when this crisis started. And as you say, the number has almost tripled to about 250,000 people. Houston has been the epicenter of the evacuee crisis. The new arrivals have come here first. It started with the Astrodome, and then they began moving people to other facilities around town, other convention centers, other sports arenas. Then they began moving people to other cities across Texas, to Dallas, San Antonio, El Paso, to name just a few. Now Governor Rick Perry wants to take things a step further. With the help of locally based airlines in Texas like American, Southwest, and Continental, he is trying to organize an airlift that will move some evacuees out of Texas to other states that are willing to help. States as far away as Michigan, Pennsylvania, to name others, and there are others who are also going to participate in that, we believe. In fact, there are perhaps more than a dozen states that the Red Cross expects to have shelters open in the coming days as the evacuees spread across the country. And of course, no one thinks that shelters are a solution for any long period of time. Here in Houston, they're trying to find other housing arrangements. They're trying to find empty apartments. There's talk of using empty college dorm space. There's also talk of perhaps setting up a trailer park or a tent camp for some of the evacuees, and they're working on all those things during the coming days. They're also trying to find empty classroom space so that the kids of these evacuees can return to school. All these are things that Presidents Bush and Clinton will see during their tour here as they are here to announce that Katrina Fund that Carl Quintanilla was talking about just a few minutes ago. Back to you.
And Ron, as you talk about the overflow of refugees there, I'm wondering also if you can talk a little bit about the number of volunteers that have taken up and given up their time to be there to try to help out those in need right now.
The number of volunteers is simply astounding. The last count was about 20,000 volunteers from the city of Houston. There were 4,000 or 5,000 who signed up in a single day over the weekend. They're still asking for more people to come forward. There have been doctors coming forward. There have been bus drivers and truck drivers coming forward. There have been people sorting out clothing in evacuation centers. There have been people who have come just to lend a hand. We've also encountered volunteers or others, Good Samaritans you might call them, who've come from as far away as Oklahoma. I met a couple of young women from Washington, D.C., who've come to be here to just help. Some people have even come to offer to take refugees, evacuees, I should say, to their homes. They've set up, essentially families have been united with families from the Houston area who have empty space. There's really been an amazing outpouring of love and support and compassion for these people. Here in Houston, they refer to the evacuees as their guests, their neighbors. The mayor here has on a number of occasions said that these people are to be treated with dignity as we try to help them restore their lives.
That is so nice to hear that spirit is there. Thanks so much, Ron. And once again, here's Matt.
All right, Natalie, thank you. Is anyone to blame for what many are calling the federal government's slow response to this disaster? As NBC's Lisa Myers reports, the man in charge of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, is really feeling the heat.
Embattled FEMA Director Michael Brown and his boss both under fire for the chaotic relief effort. But Homeland Security Secretary Michael Chertoff says for now, the focus must be on saving lives, not recrimination.
In due course, if people want to go and chop heads off, there'll be an opportunity to do it.
That amid new questions about whether Brown is qualified to run the largest relief effort in history. This was his biggest job before joining FEMA, supervising the conduct of judges and stewards as commissioner of the International Arabian Horse Association. Though Brown held that job for 9 years, it is not listed in his official biography. Association officials tell NBC News that Brown resigned under pressure from the horse show job, and that many who worked with him were stunned when he became director of FEMA.
Certainly, what he did with the Arabian Horse Association was nothing what he does with FEMA.
Brown was brought into FEMA by his college roommate, Joe Albaugh, President Bush's first campaign manager and FEMA director. Brown's only prior experience in emergency services was in a suburb of Oklahoma City in the 70s.
I have a hard time understanding how experience with an Arabian Horse Association would translate into the capability to run the Federal Emergency Management Agency.
This former FEMA manager says Brown failed to act decisively.
His lack of experience in emergency management may have played a role.
The day after widespread television reports of thousands stranded at the convention center, Brown said this.
The federal government just learned about those people today.
Still, the man who matters most has praised Brown.
Brownie, you're doing a heck of a job. The FEMA director's working 24 hours.
An administration official says Brown's public role is being diminished as other more reassuring figures take a more visible role, hoping to build confidence and quell the outrage. For today, Lisa Myers, NBC News, Washington.
While New Orleans Mayor Ray Nagin has blasted the federal government for its relief efforts, he says he's impressed by a, quote, John Wayne dude, end quote, who's come in to straighten things out. Lieutenant General Russell Honore is the senior military leader in charge of rescue and relief efforts. General Honore, good morning. Nice to see you.
Good morning.
Let me ask you, how many people do you think are left in New Orleans who need to be evacuated at this stage?
Yesterday, we evacuated approximately 3,000 from the convention center area. And when I left New Orleans last night around 11 o'clock, the numbers were still coming in. But there's still pockets of people around New Orleans Parish and St. Bernard Parish that still need to be worked. So we have the aerial surveillance going in and the search and rescue. The Fish and Wildlife folks are in there, and we will continue to work that. There are areas we can go in with trucks in the next couple of days, talking with Major General Landero. He's going to start that operation, right, and did some of it yesterday. So we're constantly after getting in and now getting into the buildings where we can knock on them and see if there's anyone in them. Over.
And when you knock on those doors, or your people knock on those doors, General, and it is a door-to-door process, I know you're coming in contact with some people who say, you know what, thanks very much, but I don't want to leave. I'm sticking it out here. I'd rather try my luck with these circumstances than be relocated. What's the strategy in dealing with those people? What will be done with them?
Well, we are marking where they are right now and take that back. And once we get some more of the search routine and finish deploying the troops, we'll ask for what is going to be the local parish or county rule on that, because that's handled at that level. They will make that decision, and once they tell us what to do, we'll execute it.
There was an incident over the weekend, General, where some people opened fire on a police escort escorting some Army Corps of Engineers contractors, and it's been said those people opened fire because they don't want to leave New Orleans. What are the rules of engagement for troops in New Orleans right now in dealing with armed people?
Well, for my troops, we use rule of engagement in foreign countries and in desperate situations, not in a humanitarian operation. In an operation like this, we have rules of self-defense. Over.
So in other words, unless they're threatened, they are not to take aggressive actions.
Right. In the common language, we are rifles down in our operation. I move in and around New Orleans just dressed just like I am now, as most people are down there. This is not a city under siege by no means, and we need to treat that incident as an isolated one, as tragic as it sounds. This city needs help, and it needs help from the big brain people in America and its technology to help it get back on its feet. And that's what we are focused on, the future now. We got to finish this search and rescue. We have to continue to provide food and water from an area from Mobile to the east side of New Orleans and all the way up to I-20 in Mississippi. This is quite a big piece of terrain we're working with, and there are people there that need help, and we're going to do the best we can to get it to them.
And real quickly, General, the water that is in New Orleans is contaminated, to put it mildly. Have you had any reports of major outbreaks of anything that's either waterborne or airborne?
No, sir. I have not seen or heard of any reports that anyone have gotten sick in that environment. That has been the big push to provide fresh water, and much of the source of that comes from water. And we've been providing MREs and bottled water to those we can get to, and I think that has tapped that down. There's a future fight to come with the environmental impacts of this flood,
right?
And we will deal with that when we get to it. Over.
Lieutenant General Russell Honore. General, thank you so much for your time this morning. Good luck to you and your people. Obviously, he's got a big job ahead of him, and he's being given some credit for that take charge attitude.
They'll need that there, every bit of it.
Ann Curry's on assignment today, and we are happy to welcome MSNBC's Amy Robach, who's filling in. Amy, good to have you here.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Natalie. Well, more than 145 people were killed this morning in a plane crash in Indonesia. The plane went down in a residential neighborhood on the island of Sumatra, killing about 100 on the plane and at least 49 on the ground. Officials say as many as 15 people on the plane survived. Today in Iraq, insurgents opened fire in a brazen attack on a heavily guarded interior ministry building in downtown Baghdad. At least 2 Iraqi police officers were killed. Meantime, Saddam Hussein's defense team is complaining it won't have enough time to prepare for his first trial, now set to begin October 19th. A U.S. nuclear-powered submarine, the USS Philadelphia, collided this morning with a cargo ship in the Persian Gulf. The Navy says no one was hurt on either vessel. And an arson and murder investigation is underway in California after 5 children died in a house fire Sunday. Adults in the house could not reach the children due to the intense heat. It's not clear how that fire started. Well, the mother of Natalie Holloway left Aruba on Sunday saying she had exhausted all avenues in the disappearance of her daughter. She made the comments after the weekend release of all 3 suspects in the case. Police insist the investigation will continue. And today, the second week of the U.S. Open gets underway. On Sunday, it was Sister Act as Venus Williams beat Serena Williams 7-6, 6-2 to advance to the quarterfinals. Other winners Sunday, Roger Federer and Maria Sharapova. It is now 21 minutes past the hour. Back over to Matt, Natalie, and Chris.
All right, Amy, thank you very much for that. As you've been mentioning, Al Roker is still recovering from some surgery, so Al, get better soon.
Absolutely.
We're thrilled to have you back. You've been doing such a great job for us.
Thanks. I'm borrowing some of his wardrobe. Little pink at a time. We're working on it. Meantime, let's get a look at what's going on across the country. The West Coast actually okay today. We deal with sunshine after some morning fog burning off, about 80 in L.A. Watch out for a thunderstorm or 2, though, in Denver. Southwest is sizzling once again. Phoenix looking at a high temperature of over 100. Right along the coast, though, San Fran, nice, 71, and up the Pacific Northwest coast looks good. Sunshine, Seattle, beautiful day there, about 70. Same thing around Portland and Medford with temperatures close to the 80-degree mark. Across the country, just some severe storms possible, northern plains. Rest of the nation, very quiet this Labor Day. That's your national weather. Here's a look at your local forecast.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a Labor Day Monday morning. We do have fair skies across the area. You can see from our Rose City Sky Cam. In Vancouver, your current temperature with a few morning clouds. You're at 49 degrees right now. And a quick look down in Salem. Fair skies there. A little chilly. 47 degrees as we speak. Here's the forecast for you for the day. There will be some morning clouds out there, but by noon we have fair skies up to 70, and by 3 o'clock this afternoon we get our daytime high, mostly sunny skies, and 76 degrees.
Thank you very much. Still ahead, New Orleans, a virtual ghost town, will take you live above that city to see what the Crescent City looks like now. But first, on a Monday morning, this is Today on NBC.
Starting September 7th, 8 all-new Oprah shows in a row.
How did she tell you?
Then, mark your calendars.
I can't believe it's here.
Monday, September 19th.
You are invited.
The 20th season begins.
So exciting. We had to tear down the walls.
The 20th anniversary season premiere of Oprah.
Monday, September 19th at 4 on News Channel 8.
You're born. You go to school. You work hard. You raise a family. You pay your taxes. And when you die, the IRS can tax you again, taking as much as 55% of everything you've saved for your children. It's called the death tax, and it's wrong. With his vote, Senator Ron Wyden could eliminate the death tax. Isn't a lifetime of taxes enough?
Want to create something extraordinary? Create perfection. Our lifestyle appliances make it easy.
When only the best will do. Standard TV and appliance and you.
At all TNC dealerships, it's the Labor Day extravaganza. Now there are more ways to save at TNC. There's employee pricing and free lifetime tires. And this weekend only, there's free gas till 2006 on any new or used vehicle. There isn't a better deal around. And $50 of every sale will go to the Red Cross in your name towards the victims of Hurricane Katrina. See us at TNC, Chrysler, Jeep, Mitsubishi, and Chevrolet in Milwaukee, and TNC Dodge in Wilsonville. The sale ends this Monday. It's happening now at all Town and Country dealerships. Drive home happy.
Still ahead, TV's Dr. Phil is helping storm refugees deal with the emotional fallout. We'll talk to him.
Also, Matt, the story of hope. It wasn't the wedding they dreamed of, but this couple proved love does conquer all, even a hurricane. After these messages in your local news.
Keep your eye on the jib, it's laughing! Set the sails and make for the finish line!
Okay, sir, wait and take a seat. We're about to shove off.
Here comes
horse hike, the horseback riding, and the rock wall, it hits you. This is way more than a cruise. See for yourself at RoyalCaribbean.com and get out there.
Tuesday I was mobbed by paparazzi. Yesterday I blew my entire savings on stilettos. And today I'm hiring a pool boy. And I don't even have a pool. When it's just me, a warm, toasty McGriddle sandwich, and a great cup of McDonald's coffee, my imagination runs wild. Tomorrow? Or wouldn't you like to know?
Nice ride.
Thank you, Mocha Coca. Chrysler and Jeep came up on Buku Awards. And Dodge trucks last as long as the Deagle Double Chisel. Plus, I got the hookup, nephew, for sure.
You know, I'm not too sure of what you just said. Now everybody gets a great deal.
For shizzle, I can zizzle.
This Labor Day weekend, get employee pricing plus on remaining 2005 models.
If the ride is more fly, then you must buy.
That's what I hear.
News Channel 8 can also be seen on these local translators. This is a News Channel 8 update.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Brenda Braxton. It's 7:27 and 53 degrees here in downtown Portland this morning. Here's what's making news. About 1,000 Katrina evacuees will arrive in Portland later this week. They'll stay at the old Washington High School. The city is going to help the adults find jobs, and Portland Public Schools will integrate children into classrooms. The evacuees could stay as long as 6 months. Also, Washington is preparing to welcome about 2,000 evacuees. And a reminder about an easy way to help those hurricane survivors. You can donate to the American Red Cross at any U.S. bank branch or send a check to Post Office Box 5004 in Portland. Zip code is 97208. You can also donate online. Just go to kgw.com. So far, we've raised more than $245,000 for the American Red Cross. Time to check the Labor Day commute. Michael, is it still light?
Oh, very light out here, Brenda. If you're heading out, it's going to be an easy drive. Over on the Sunset Highway, it is pretty much deserted. I-5 southbound as you come out of Vancouver looks good down across the Interstate Bridge, as does I-205 south as you move down across the Glen Jackson Bridge. Live from the traffic center, I'm Michael Convery. Dave Selesky, how's the forecast?
Thanks very much, Michael. The weather almost as quiet as the traffic today. We have lots of blue sky and sunshine. There are a couple of morning clouds out there, as you can see from our Rose City sky cam. Those will be burning off quite rapidly. Here's the forecast today. Brief morning clouds, then mostly sunny skies. By noon, we're at 70. By 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we see our daytime high of 76 degrees. And take a look right now at 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, kids heading back to school. It's going to be sunny and 80, 78 on Wednesday. Another update in half an hour. Stay tuned. We'll see you then.
I've lost 50 pounds with Jenny Craig, and so can you. I'm not a very fat actress anymore, and you don't have to be a very fat whatever it is you are. They'll customize a program just for you, so really, what do you have to lose? 50 pounds? That's like giving birth to a kindergartner.
Lose 20 pounds for $20 plus the cost of food. Or ask about our other affordable plans. Call 1-800-JENNY-20 now.
Have you called Jenny yet? Hey, kid, wait up. I just want to pick you up. I just want to see how much you weigh.
Chip, did we finish stocking up broccoli?
Yep, sure did.
So what are you doing?
Nothing.
Are you writing thank you notes again?
I just want the farmers and growers to know how much we appreciate their fruits and vegetables.
We've talked about this. You can't write thank you cards every day.
But we get fresh shipments every day.
Hagen Law number 2. Offer the highest quality produce delivered fresh 7 days a week. At Hagen, we do more to bring you the freshest choices every day. Oh, Chip.
One of the better.
We're back at 7:30 on a Monday morning, Labor Day, September 5th, 2005. It's an aerial view you're looking at right now of New Orleans and the surrounding area, still underwater. Here we are a week, almost to the hour after Hurricane Katrina hit. Officials there say it will be months before the city is completely drained of floodwaters. Meanwhile, the recovery effort has been described as chaotic as rescuers start going door to door hunting for survivors and, of course, also collecting the victims, the bodies of the victims of this storm. Meanwhile, back inside Studio 1A on a Monday morning, I'm Matt Lauer, along with Natalie Morales, who's filling in while Katie's off this morning. Actually, Katie is traveling to New Orleans, and she'll be broadcasting there, joining us there from there tomorrow morning. And coming up in just a couple of minutes, we're going to take you to the skies over that city to show you just what a huge task rescue workers have in front of them. It's a 24/7 operation.
And Matt, New Orleans is the city, of course, that gave us jazz and taught us how to let the good times roll. Will this city ever be able to recover its glory? We're going to talk to the New Orleans longtime congressman about that and his tour of the area with President Bush. And we'll also hear from TV's Dr. Phil about his efforts to help victims of Katrina and the emotional toll this storm has taken on so many and will for so many years to come, Matt.
All right, Natalie, but first, New Orleans gets so much of the headlines right now, but it's not just the Big Easy that's been devastated. Parishes outside that city have been hit hard as well, and officials there are saying that they've been forgotten. On Sunday, the president of Jefferson Parish, a suburb of New Orleans, made an emotional appearance on Meet the Press.
The guy who runs this building I'm in, emergency management, he's responsible for everything. His mother was trapped in St. Bernard nursing home, and every day she called him and said, "Are you coming, son? Is somebody coming?" And he said, "Yeah, Mama, somebody's coming to get you. Somebody's coming to get you on Tuesday. Somebody's coming to get you on Wednesday. Somebody's coming to get you on Thursday. Somebody's coming to get you on Friday." And she drowned it Friday night. She drowned it Friday night.
Mr. President,
Nobody's coming to get us. Nobody's coming to get us. The secretary has promised. Everybody's promised. They've had press conferences. I'm sick of the press conferences. For God's sakes, shut up and send us somebody.
That was Jefferson Parish, Louisiana President Aaron Broussard on Meet the Press with Tim Russert over the weekend. NBC's Campbell Brown is in New Orleans. Campbell, good morning. And there's so many stories like that that we're hearing day after day.
It's true, Matt, and just to remind viewers so they understand, a parish here in Louisiana is basically the same thing as a county, and in many of the parishes around New Orleans, we are hearing the same pleas for help and the same complaints that those pleas are being ignored.
Another victim of Katrina has to be medevaced out. It is the only way to escape St. Bernard Parish, that or boat. In this suburb of New Orleans, just over the Mississippi River, the flooding is even worse than the city. It is 95% underwater. Thousands stuck on this island thought FEMA would at least airdrop food and water, but the help never came.
We didn't see any federal assistance whatsoever.
Until today.
Until today. Now today, we've been having stuff dropped in all day.
An armada of helicopters bringing in massive amounts of food and water. But the people are mostly gone, and it's all arriving 1 week too late.
The things that we've seen, Campbell, are things that I never dreamed in my life that I would see in the United States of America. People that were literally dying because of lack of medicine and water and just something to eat.
Jack Stevens is the sheriff of St. Bernard. He gave up on FEMA this week and managed to evacuate most survivors with help from volunteers, tugboat drivers, and neighboring police and firefighters. But it wasn't enough, and the death toll here is high.
I know after this storm, after the hurricane died down, had we had a more expeditious response by the federal government, it would have saved lives. There's no question about that.
But he has a new challenge now, the stagnant water that will have to be pumped out.
All of this water is contaminated, and what they're most worried about now is disease. Rescue workers who are going out in these boats are finding people who are sick or who are breaking out in rashes from being out here on the water for so long.
In the middle of our visit, the governor, Kathleen Blanco, arrives by chopper unexpected, promising more help and insisting to us she tried but had no way to get supplies to St. Bernard sooner.
I kept asking for equipment. It was hard getting it in. And then the National Guard from around the country
that's where I think the federal government failed us, because they got a lot more equipment.
Now, that debate is going to continue for a long time down here, but right now they still need FEMA. It's just that their needs have changed. Now they need tetanus shots and medicine, which they say they desperately need for what they're afraid is going to be the next phase of this crisis. Matt?
All right, Campbell, thanks very much. Campbell Brown in New Orleans for us. It's 35 after the hour. Once again, here's Natalie.
Matt, thank you. It's hard to believe, but a week after Hurricane Katrina, there are still people in New Orleans who haven't evacuated their homes, and they don't want to leave either. Still, military rescue teams are working around the clock trying to save lives. NBC's Kerry Sanders is high in the skies above New Orleans. Kerry, good morning.
Good morning, Natalie. We are over New Orleans. As we take a look outside, you can see here in the shadows of the Superdome, we'll take you to a neighborhood where you can see, yes, the water is still there. And in this neighborhood, with the water that is there, as you said, there are people who are inside their homes who have not been rescued. Now, the Coast Guard is trying to get a message to those people down there to hang some sort of brightly colored items in the window, on the roof, any sort of way to identify that they're there. They're not sure whether they're getting that message, though. They're hoping that they have some sort of transistor radios to hear it, because quite frankly, there's no electricity down here. They couldn't be getting it on television or if the radio was plugged into the wall. But they're hoping that they can identify where these people are, because the only other way really is at night, because there is a 24-hour operation here.
Ready to transport two, take him back to Channel 1.
Under cover of darkness, with night vision gear designed to locate and then extract down U.S. pilots from behind enemy lines, Air Force Special Operations is on the hunt for hurricane survivors. Most on this crew served in Iraq.
It's obviously unfortunate that we have to do this, but it is so cool that we actually get to help our own people.
Same area working yesterday.
Some victims are assisting, signaling with flashlights when they hear the choppers overhead. It's a high-wire balancing act, threading the debris as the pararescue jumper drops into the devastation below, and then, moments later, hoists the evacuees out of their week-long nightmare. Their drawn faces and weak bodies tell the story. But increasingly, there are a significant number of victims telling rescue teams they still won't evacuate.
A lot of frustration comes, I think, to the crew. A lot of people out here are really busting their tails to get out there and help those people out.
And we lost contact with Kerry Sanders, but you're still seeing some of those live pictures, and you still see, Matt, the floodwaters still surrounding the city of New Orleans, and it's going to take a long, long time before that water goes anywhere.
According to some estimates, between 30 and 80 days. So you get some idea of the scope of this situation. Let's get another check of the weather from WNBC's Chris Cimino, who's filling in for Al Roker. Chris?
All right, thanks, Matt. A very nice morning out here in the plaza. Blue sky, sunshine, temperatures comfortable in the 60s. We want to go down south and look along the Gulf Coast, what type of weather they're encountering as they continue to try the cleanup down there. Partly to mostly sunny skies, and the heat backing off just a little. Not much, just a little. Still in the low 90s. There could be an isolated shower or thunderstorm, but for the most part, it should stay free of rain. Now, a different story up across the northern plains. Areas of northwest Minnesota seeing some severe thunderstorms this morning, sweeping towards the Great Lakes and areas of Wisconsin a little later today. Rest of the country really very quiet. Northeast looks good, dry with sunshine, 70s and 80s, and same thing through the Midwest. That's a look at the national weather. Here's a look now at your local forecast.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to a Monday. It's Labor Day and a great day weather-wise across the Pacific Northwest. That, of course, our sky cam up on top of Mount Hood, looking at Mount Jefferson and the Three Sister Wilderness area. Down in Salem this hour, we have fair skies. It's 47 degrees. And in Portland, a few morning clouds out there, folks, but 54. Our temperatures will be going up, though, mostly sunny skies by midday, and our daytime high reaching a very nice 76 degrees.
And let's send it back inside now to Natalie.
All right, thank you, Chris. Up next, how tough will it be for the great city of New Orleans to recover from this tragedy? But first, these messages.
Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me, my lover stands on golden sands and watches the ships that go sail.
On a Carnival cruise, at any one moment, there are a million ways to have fun.
Go sail.
Carnival, the fun ships.
No matter what you're into, there's only one way to go back to school. Get hooked up with Dell. This Dimension desktop with an Intel Celeron processor is only $299. Plus, get a free printer. Get more out of now. Dell PCs use Intel Celeron processors.
Morning after morning, enjoy eggs you love whenever you like with Egg Beaters. Real eggs with the great taste and protein of eggs in the shell without all the fat and calories. Making eggs not just for sometimes, but anytime. Egg Beaters, eggs you love whenever you like.
Life is sweet, 'cause lucky me, I've got a Splenda daddy.
All the sweetest dads know about Splenda. The no-calorie sweetener made from sugar, so it tastes like sugar. Almost anywhere you use sugar, you can use Splenda. So dads can even cook and bake with it. If they can cook and bake, that is.
We try a lot of things before we succeed. That's why we keep trying. Maybe all the times you tried to quit smoking were just practice. The 4-milligram Commit lozenge actually doubles your chances of quitting. The Commit lozenge. Real help, real hope.
Pass the Country Crock mashed potatoes.
Yep, one of 6 delicious side dishes from Country Crock. Ready in 5 minutes. Shed's Country Crock side dishes. Try new cheddar broccoli rice and cheddar mashed potatoes.
When I started volunteering in the community, it was just me. But I could only do so much. That's when I had the idea to clone myself. Hey, Betty. That do it for you? With hundreds of pings, I can do anything. From helping people with their taxes.
Are you two brothers?
No, clones. To promoting driver safety, to mentoring young people. I mean, my wife gets a little confused sometimes.
Morning, Sleepy-Doo.
But it's definitely made the community a better place.
What's the matter, Sleepy-Doo?
If one person could do it alone, the world wouldn't need AARP. Join us today.
Watching your weight always on your mind? Try Quaker's delicious new Weight Control Oatmeal. 7 grams of protein and 6 grams of fiber help fill you up and start your day weight off your mind.
That's a flavor blaster. It makes us flavorific. We'll get eaten. So swim around it, okay?
Goldfish flavor blasted crackers. It's a wonder they're not extinct. Flavor blasted goldfish.
The snack that smiles back. Goldfish.
Recent studies suggest that the calcium and nutrients in milk may help you lose more weight and burn more fat when dieting. So drink 24 ounces of low-fat or fat-free milk every 24 hours as part of your reduced calorie diet. Just one more reason. Lose weight. For more about the science, visit 2424milk.com.
And you're looking live at Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where President Bush arrived just moments ago on a second tour of the hurricane-damaged areas of the Gulf Coast. Earlier this morning, the president announced that he is nominating John Roberts to fill William Rehnquist's spot as U.S. Supreme Court Chief Justice. Rehnquist was one of the longest-serving justices in high court history, and this weekend he lost his battle with thyroid cancer. Our national correspondent Jamie Gangel sat down with Rehnquist last year for what would be his final interview, where she discovered the very human side of a remarkable man.
That I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States. And will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
In public, Chief Justice Rehnquist had a reputation for being stern.
This is your life, Chief Justice.
This is my life.
But in his last interview, he gave us a tour of the court, his chambers, and we saw another side, his self-deprecating wit.
And up there.
That's my wife and I, right after I was appointed. I can't believe I ever had my hair that way.
I was going to say those sideburns were famous, Chief.
Yeah, they didn't last long.
What did last? Rehnquist's ability to poke some fun at the court's formality and his flair for the dramatic, especially his signature robes.
Tell us about those gold stripes. They're distinctive. They are inspired by...
I saw a performance of Gilbert and Sullivan's Iolanthe, in which the Lord Chancellor had a whole bunch of stripes. And I thought we could do something to kind of make our court more colorful. None of my colleagues, however, have gone along with the idea at all.
He also liked to show off this Lone Ranger doll, a gift from his law clerks that had a special place of honor in his chambers.
They gave it to you because...
because they felt I was so often in disagreement with the majority of the court.
In the early years, you really were the Lone Ranger.
To a certain extent, yes.
Yeah. Despite differences of style and opinion, Rehnquist also provided a glimpse behind the veil of the court. While his policy was not to comment on current court cases, he voiced no regret about the court's controversial decision in the 2000 Bush-Gore election.
It's a credit to the American system that it came out the way it did.
On a lighter note, Rehnquist also admitted that even Supreme Court justices sometimes have doubts about how they adjust to being on the highest court of the land.
They've given various estimates as to how long it takes to get used to the job. It's, a year, 2 years. In fact, one statement is that for the first couple of years, you wonder how you got there, and after that, you wonder how the others got there. But
Rehnquist got to the court thanks to President Richard Nixon. But until our interview, the Chief Justice had never heard this rather extraordinary exchange between Nixon and then Attorney General John Mitchell discussing his nomination and his religion. It's pretty funny. President Richard Nixon. Incidentally, what is Rehnquist? I suppose he's a damn Protestant. Mr. John Mitchell. I'm sure of that. President Nixon. That's too damn bad.
That's too damn bad. Tell him to change his religion. Get him baptized this afternoon.
You never heard that?
I never. This is the first time I've heard that very, very funny conversation.
It's been said that you have been one of the most influential Chief Justices on the court. When they write about the Rehnquist court, what do you hope they'll say?
I think I will leave that to posterity. To say that I'm one of the most influential Chief Justices gives an aura about it that perhaps I don't deserve.
Is there something that you hope you will be remembered for, either as a man or for your legal career?
My service on the court has certainly been the most important part of my legal career, and I hope I will be remembered for that.
For today, Jamie Gangel, NBC News, Washington.
And still ahead on a Monday morning, the good news coming out of Hurricane Katrina, the babies who made it through. But first, these messages.
These multivitamins are about the number of ingredients. Centrum knows it's about something more. Centrum balances combinations of nutrients to help them work to their full potential. They assure an effective level of vitamin D to help your body absorb calcium better. C recharges E to optimize antioxidant power. With 8 interactive combinations that help your body get more out of Centrum. Sometimes a lot just isn't enough. Centrum is balanced and the most complete from A to Zinc.
An all-new movie on DVD.
He's malfunctioning.
The Adventures of Lilo and Stitch continue.
I'm not touching you.
You're touching me!
Lilo and Stitch 2. Stitch has a glitch. Only today on Disney DVD.
Looking for a blush that's true to you? I found my true match.
New True Match Super Blendable Blush from L'Oreal.
The first blush from L'Oreal designed to complement your natural skin tone.
12 true natural shades in warm, neutral, and cool tones. New True Match Blush.
Blush is back.
I'd like to redeem my credit card miles. No.
Okay.
Oh, Chubsy, come on. The answer's always...
No!
That's right.
Ow. No!
I'm not hearing it.
No! No! No!
Go from no to no hassle with Capital One No Hassle Rewards. There are no blackout dates on any airline, anytime.
I should have worked at Capital One!
What's in your wallet?
No!
If you love Pepperidge Farm cookies, like chocolate chunk with its melt-in-your-mouth chocolate and macadamia nuts, you're not alone. Pepperidge Farm cookies. Remember what's good.
You take care of him. Reward yourself with something decidedly different from Coffee Mate. Latte Creations turns coffee into a delicious latte.
You're welcome. Love you too.
Nestle Coffee Mate Latte Creations, coffee's most rewarding perfect mate.
With fewer
fewer emissions than any engine of its kind, the GE NX jet engine is powering a fresh new way of looking at technology that even nature could approve of. Another product of pure eco-imagination from GE Transportation. GE, imagination at work.
I hadn't looked in the bag in a long time.
Decades.
I'm State Farm agent Ken Heiner, and this is a true story.
We count on Ken for car insurance.
I told him we could also help with their financial needs.
He asked for it.
My office put in some long days.
And nights. She's a bit of a pack rat.
He gave us a lot of options.
Life insurance, mutual funds, loans.
They put it all in a neat little folder.
And she put it back in her paper bag.
Talk to your State Farm agent about your financial future today.
Like a good neighbor.
State Farm is there.
This Labor Day weekend, hurry to Lowe's for great values. Now get a $25 gift card free when you spend $99 or more on Werner ladders and accessories. Also, every 50-pound bag of Quikrete concrete is now only $1.79. What's more, use your Lowe's card and pay nothing for 12 months on all purchases of $299 or more. You see, nobody works harder to save you money every day. That's our promise. So this Labor Day weekend, hurry to Lowe's for great values.
Still ahead, we'll go back to the Gulf Coast region to see how the rescue and recovery efforts are going there. Here we are 1 week after the hurricane roared through. They're still finding people in flooded buildings and homes. Some want to be rescued and others are telling them, no thanks, I'm going to stick it out right here.
That's right. Also, you're going to be talking with Dr. Phil McGraw on his face-to-face encounters with many of the refugees this morning. He's talking to people in Houston and Dallas. He held a town hall meeting trying to assess kind of the emotional, the psychological toll that people are certainly going to be feeling for years to come.
A lot of anger in the way the response has gone so far, and a lot of uncertainty as to the future.
Also, children separated by Hurricane Katrina being reunited with their parents. But first, these messages and your local news.
You know, I gotta tell you, since I've been hurt and missing work, you've been a big help to this family. No, really. The cash we get from Aflac helps us maintain the house, put food on the table. And my Jenny continues with her piano lessons. Yep, this family's doing just fine. And it's all thanks to...
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
I am dedicated. I am disciplined. I am determined. And I'm a diabetic. And that's how I feel when I test with my meter, the Accu-Check Aviva.
The new Accu-Check Aviva system, designed to fill correctly and test right the first time, to make every strip count. The Accu-Check Aviva. Switch to the system that makes every strip count.
Finally, a denture adhesive with no messy ooze.
Announcing PolyGrip strips. These slim strips are pre-measured to give you a neat, clean seal with all the hold of a cream. New PolyGrip strips holds all day in a neat new way.
No matter what you're into, there's only one way to go back to school. Get hooked up with Dell. This Dimension desktop with an Intel Celeron processor is only $299. Plus, get a free printer. Get more out of now. Dell PCs use Intel Celeron processors.
How to get more done. Get the Duet washer and dryer that can handle up to 16 pairs of jeans in a single load and dry them faster than you ever thought possible. And if space is a problem, get these. A versatile washer and dryer that fit into compact places. Whirlpool, the best-selling laundry brand in the world. Got a lot of laundry? Get Whirlpool and get more done.
What did you do?
I had to fire the guy. You know what just hit me? We should go to Outback for the new Cairn Citrus Chicken. Marinated, seasoned, char grilled in a citrus glaze.
Mind if I join you?
Try something bold. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
If you had a ghost in your apartment, you'd want her to be helpful.
Go away, you don't exist.
Friendly.
I just want you out of my house.
You get out!
Whoa!
Understanding.
I'm trying to help you face the fact that you...
I'm not dead.
You'd want her to be Reese Witherspoon.
Precious.
Reese Witherspoon. Mark Ruffalo. John Heater.
What are you drinking?
Coffee.
Scotch.
Don't you dare.
From the director of Freaky Friday, just like heaven. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, September 16th.
If you're looking for a loved one in the Gulf Coast, or if you're a Katrina survivor and want to tell folks you're okay, log on to msnbc.com and find out how you can reconnect.
When news breaks,
We have stunning exclusive video of Hurricane Katrina.
America watches today.
There has been a huge development overnight.
First,
How difficult is it for you to find reassuring words for the citizens of your state?
America's #1 morning show. Live for today on NBC.
Wednesdays, the outermost ring holds the innermost power. Benjamin Bratt, Dennis Hopper, E-Ring. Wednesdays, 9/8 Central on NBC.
Fridays, the show that asks the question, if you had one wish, what would it be?
When you walk into a town and say, we're going to grant 3 wishes, tell me a wish and I'll make it come true, you just feel the magic.
Hosted by Amy Grant. 3 Wishes, Friday, September 23rd at 9/8 Central on NBC.
This is Today, watched by more viewers than any other morning news program.
It had gotten to the point where I didn't know who I was anymore.
At first, it was fun. Gambling distracted me from my problems, helped me feel better. But after a while, I felt nothing, felt ashamed. I did things I knew were wrong, risked everything important to me. I wanted to stop, but I didn't know how. I couldn't have done it without help. Just doing ordinary things again is incredible to me.
If you need someone to talk to about your gambling, call 1-877-2-STOP-NOW. Treatment is free, confidential, and it works.
You can probably tell it's got great pickup.
Let's pick up my friends.
Well, okay.
We have to get Bob.
Who's Bob?
Come on, Bob. My blood sugar's low. No, I didn't. Do you have any money? Where's my nugget?
What do you think of the DVD? Sorry.
Let's test the red one now.
Sienna, it has everything kids want and everything you need. Toyota, moving forward.
News Channel 8 can also be seen on these local translators. This is a News Channel 8 update.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Brenda Braxton. It's 7:57 and 54 degrees here in downtown Portland. Here's what's making news. Portland police are on the lookout today for a driver who hit and killed a 21-year-old bicyclist, then took off. It happened early yesterday morning near Northeast Alberta and Martin Luther King Boulevard. Investigators are now searching for a gray or dark-colored Nissan sedan. They say it likely has front end damage and possibly a shattered windshield. About 1,000 Katrina evacuees will arrive in Portland later this week. They'll be housed at Washington High School. The city is going to help the adults find jobs, and Portland Public Schools will integrate children into classrooms. And you can still help hurricane survivors with a financial donation to the Red Cross. Any U.S. bank is accepting donations, or you can mail them to Post Office Box 5004 in Portland. The zip code is 97208. You can also donate by going to our website online, kgw.com. Now for a check of the Monday traffic situation, here's Michael Convery.
It is very holiday light out here on this Monday morning, Brenda. I-5 northbound down in Tualatin, looking great coming up past Nyberg Road. Plenty of open spaces inbound on I-84 as you head down towards I-5. Dave Selesky has our forecast.
We've got some pretty good weather ahead today for you, Michael. Fair skies out there, right? And take a look. There are a few clouds out in the distance up over the Columbia and the Willamette River area. That's about it. 54 degrees, our current temperature. Here's the day planner for you. Some morning clouds and plenty of afternoon sunshine for today, Labor Day. Daytime high is going to reach 76 degrees. Here's the 7-day forecast. Kids heading back to school tomorrow, very summer-like. Morning clouds, afternoon sunshine, and 80. 78 on Wednesday, and upper 70s and low 80s for the rest of the week.
On your mark. Get set.
Save.
Circuit City's Labor Day sale is happening now. Come in today and save on digital cameras, big screens, computers, camcorders, car audio, and more. And this Sunday and Monday only, all CDs are just $9.88 each. Choose from the hottest hits like Mariah Carey, Coldplay, and Faith Hill. It's all happening now at Circuit City's Labor Day sale.
September 1st through the 11th, join Metro in celebrating your natural areas. 8,000 acres saved and counting. Events include hikes, bicycling, kayaking, bus tours, music, and Oregon Zoo event and more. Visit metro-region.org for complete event information.
Mattress World's having a huge Labor Day sale.
Get any size mattress set for just $89 each piece.
Also get a 10-year pillow top queen set for just $3.99.
Or get a memory foam queen set for just $6.99.
It's not too late to sleep like a baby. Mattress World.
We're back on a Monday morning. It's Labor Day, the 5th of September, 2005. Rescue crews still working hard today, plucking some hurricane survivors from their rooftops. The water's still dangerously high all around New Orleans, and the death toll is expected to be well into the thousands. One New Orleans police commander says he wouldn't be surprised if it reaches 20,000. Extraordinary numbers. Back inside Studio 1A, I'm Matt Lauer along with Natalie Morales. Katie's going to be coming to us live tomorrow morning from New Orleans. She'll be joining us as soon as our program begins. While hundreds of thousands stranded by Katrina now have shelter, food, and water, understandably, many are suffering from a lot of stress. And coming up, we're going to talk to TV's Dr. Phil about his counseling sessions that he's had with some of the evacuations from this storm.
Also ahead, Matt, the plight of Katrina's youngest victims. What is the status of all the children who've been found without their parents and all the babies that were moved from hospitals? We're going to find out what is being done to locate and reunite these families.
But first, on a Monday morning, we want to talk about the president's trip to the Gulf Coast this morning and the nomination of John Roberts to be the next Supreme Court Chief Justice. NBC's Kelly O'Donnell is at the White House with more on that. It's been a pretty busy day for the president, Kelly.
Good morning, Matt. It has been, and he is trying to navigate those two crucial issues, the future of the court and the future of the Gulf region. This morning, he nominated to replace Chief Justice William Rehnquist, who passed away over the weekend, John Roberts, his choice to succeed Justice O'Connor. We now know that aboard Air Force One on his way to Baton Rouge, the president telephoned Justice O'Connor, who had not yet heard about this change, and the president assured her that he would act quickly to try to find another candidate to take her seat now that Judge Roberts is being nominated for the Chief Justice spot. The president is on the ground in Louisiana now, visiting Baton Rouge today. We're told by officials here that part of his mission in that city is to thank those who have begun to take in evacuees. Baton Rouge has been a destination for many of those who have fled the area most deeply ravaged. That's part of what he'll do today. And then he heads on to Mississippi, where he'll be talking to officials there, local elected leaders, about steps that can be taken to move things forward. Matt?
All right, Kelly O'Donnell at the White House this morning. Kelly, thank you very much. 2 minutes after the hour, here's Natalie.
Matt, thanks. And now let's go live to New Orleans for the very latest on the rescue and recovery efforts there. NBC's Carl Quintanilla is there this morning. Carl, good morning once again.
Good morning, Natalie. The helicopters continue to swarm above the skies of New Orleans, as Matt mentioned, picking those people up via the air, flying very low. It's a difficult mission for a lot of these helicopter pilots who fly mostly Huey helicopters because they're flying so low. A lot of all that debris that is loose and on the ground starts to swirl around, very dangerous. And in some cases, people do not want to leave for a variety of reasons. Sometimes they say they're worried about leaving their house for fear that it will be looted while they're gone. Some say they simply have enough food to last for days. Some believe that, as in past hurricanes, the pumps here in New Orleans are going to start operating at any moment. And finally, some are simply unwilling to leave their pets behind. As time goes on, of course, the story is going to increasingly turn to the body count as these rescuers start heading out looking for corpses in water that is turning toxic, more and more toxic by the day. It's also filled with all the gasoline and motor oil from cars, and it's virtually impossible to see through. So divers are not going to be able to simply go in and look for bodies. We are getting word that in Louisiana, according to a former FEMA official, the former director of FEMA, James Lee Witt, who's been hired by Governor Blanco as a special advisor, there could be 6,000 dead in the state of Louisiana alone. Natalie?
Carl Quintanilla, once again, thank you. Now here's Matt.
All right, Natalie, thanks. It is full steam ahead this morning for the USS Harry Truman. The aircraft carrier is about 50 miles off the coast of New Orleans, ready to help the storm victims there. Our own Ann Curry is on board, and she joins me now by phone. Ann, good morning to you.
Matt, good morning. The USS Harry Truman, one of the nation's newest aircraft carriers, is about to join in the help to rescue one of the nation's oldest cities. The carrier is anchored close to New Orleans on Sunday, and today it will begin launching continuous rescue, supply, and support missions from just about 60 miles offshore, potentially ratcheting up the pace of military emergency relief operations. It's capable of dropping massive amounts of food and water. The Truman is also carrying about 3 million gallons of jet fuel to help refuel the rescue choppers in the region, especially because fuel in the region is getting harder to come by. It is to be a landing strip also for Navy, Army, Marine, and Coast Guard air missions, what's described as a command and control platform for military relief operations. But perhaps its most significant contribution will be as a continuous source of clean water, which is, of course, critical to preventing the feared outbreak of disease such as typhoid and cholera. The carrier is capable of making some 400,000 gallons of fresh water a day. Yet another measure of the scope of this crisis that an aircraft carrier twice deployed in the Iraq War is now 60 miles off the coast of the city of New Orleans today. And by the way, the mood aboard on this vessel is to be on mission. The sailors are happy to be called to help fellow Americans in need. And more than 160 of the sailors aboard this aircraft have family and friends in the region hit by Katrina.
And
Matt,
just 5 seconds left. Have they been given any idea how long they may be there?
They don't know how long they'll be here, and I think I should also probably mention to you that other ships are also going to be steaming up even closer, not aircraft carriers.
All right, Ann Curry aboard the USS Harry Truman. Ann, thanks very much. And now for the rest of the morning's top stories, we turn to MSNBC's Amy Robach, who's filling in for Ann while Ann is aboard the USS Harry Truman. Amy, good morning to you.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Natalie. Well, former Presidents Bush and Clinton released details this morning on the fundraising drive they will lead for victims of Katrina. They announced people can donate via the website bushclintonkatrinafund.org. Money raised will go to the governors in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama to assist with disaster relief and medical services. Investigators in Indonesia are trying to find out what caused a deadly plane crash this morning. About 100 people on the plane and nearly 50 on the ground were killed when the plane crashed after takeoff on the island of Sumatra. Officials say 15 people on the plane survived. Natalie Holloway's mother says she has exhausted all of her avenues. She left Aruba Sunday after all 3 suspects in her daughter's disappearance were released. Police insist their investigation into the case is not over. An arson and murder investigation is underway in California after 5 children died in a house fire Sunday. Adults in the house could not reach the children due to the intense heat. And AAA says today the national average for regular gas has topped $3 a gallon for the first time. Meanwhile, oil prices eased a bit today in overseas trading, dropping to under $65 a barrel in Asia. It is now 7 minutes past the hour. Time for weather, and in for Al this morning is Chris Cimino.
Today's weather is brought to you by Walmart. Always low prices. Always.
And weather-wise across the country, pretty good-looking Labor Day, actually. A large portion of the nation will enjoy sunshine today. Satellite and radar perspective showing it is very quiet. There's an area of thunderstorm activity up across the northern plains, moving through Minnesota towards the western Great Lakes, and also the south corner, let's say the southeastern corner, from about West Palm Beach down towards Miami Beach. Some heavy showers and thunderstorms today, maybe locally 2 to 4 inches of rainfall down there. We're watching that system. It has some tropical characteristics. We'll keep an eye on it. Rest of the nation, as I said, hot over the southeast again, down around New Orleans near 90 today. Southwest 104 Phoenix, that's pretty typical for this time of year. The west coast will enjoy some sunshine. Temperatures comfortable in the 70s along the coast. Inland areas in the 80s. Throughout the interior sections of the northeast today, more sunshine, as well as the Ohio, middle Atlantic states. Beautiful day for barbecue and the outdoor activities as well. And the shore points are nice with temperatures in the 70s from Maine all the way down to the Carolina coastline. That's a look at your national weather. Here's a look now at your local forecasts.
Good morning. Just a few morning clouds out there. As you can see from our Wells Fargo sky cam, those morning clouds, though, will be burning off. Current temperature here in Portland, we're 54 degrees as we speak. Now, temperatures across the rest of the metropolitan areas in the 40s and 50s. Cool spot right now is Hillsborough at 45 degrees. Satellite imagery shows a ridge of high pressure in place across the northwest. That means fair and dry conditions, just what our forecast calls for today. Our daytime high is going to reach 76 degrees.
Chris, thanks very much. And just again, we want to wish Mr. Roker a speedy recovery. If he's watching, Al, we're thinking about it.
Absolutely. Right. And still to come here on Today, Coping with Loss, TV's Dr. Phil on what he has told people who are missing their homes and missing their loved ones after the storm. We'll be back right after this.
teacher, and last year she let us dissect a frog. Cool. I get a rabbit in my homeroom. Kids. That's so cool. I get a marker, more recess, go on 5.
Ready for school? Good thing Walmart's got all the coolest clothes for back to school at their always low prices. So you can get your kids off to the right start.
Hey! Oh, come on.
Every morning, millions of people get off to the wrong start.
Hold the door.
Hey! That's why there's International Delight. Delight in every cup.
What can enhance your color? Day after day, Pantene Expressions. ChromaShine Pro Vitamin formulas infuse multi-dimensional shine for reds, blondes, and brunettes. Pantene Expressions.
If you fancy something sugar-free, red raspberry can be elegant with Smucker's sweet sugar-free goodness for the many moods of youth. For over 100 years, with a name like Smucker's, it has to be good.
That's a flavor blaster. It makes us flavorific. We'll get eaten. So swim around it, okay?
Goldfish flavor blasted crackers. It's a wonder they're not extinct. Flavor blasted goldfish.
The snack that smiles back. Goldfish.
Well, we're both professional skeptics. We agreed to eat a bowl of oatmeal every day for a month. Quaker oatmeal helped reduce my cholesterol 28 points. Incredible.
Remarkable.
We both benefited.
Yes, thank you, dear.
For all the extra hours you dedicate to your students, we think you deserve some extra credit. TIAA CREF, serving the retirement needs of those in the academic, medical, cultural, and research fields. Visit us online to find out how we can serve you. TIAA CREF, financial services for the greater good.
And now I am honored to present our next speaker. She is a real class act. It is my privilege to introduce this special lady, Catherine Nolan.
New tide to go. It's tide to the rescue.
We are back at 12 after the hour. While people who fled Hurricane Katrina are starting to have their basic physical needs met, food, shelter, warm clothes, many are going to need psychological counseling as well. Dr. Phil McGraw is a psychologist and host of the syndicated Dr. Phil Show. He spent time talking to the evacuees at the Houston Astrodome over the last 24 hours or so. Dr. Phil, good morning. Good to see you.
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
I'm fine. You held kind of a town hall meeting and spoke to some of these people who've been through so much over this last week. What were they telling you?
Matt, we did. Yesterday we were in Dallas in the morning, we were in Houston in the afternoon, back in Dallas, and then we're here again today. And we've been talking to evacuees on both ends, and I can tell you that they are truly in despair, and probably the toughest thing for them right now is a lack of information. So many of them, the women and children were taken out first, and they were on buses that flowed into Houston. And then when the men came out in the second wave, Houston was filling up, so they got routed to the north, and so many of them are in Dallas. They last saw each other up on interstates and at clearance centers, so they just simply don't know whether they survived the floodwaters or whether they're in another shelter. And it's that lack of information that is so tough for them.
Talk to me a little bit, Phil, about what this does, this experience of the last week, to the psyche of a survivor, the loss of shelter, the loss of family members and friends, the loss of a sense of personal security.
Well, Matt, it's absolutely devastating to them. There is a sense of a lack of direction for the people so much, and you have to realize for these people, so many of them are not going home, and they know that. You know, so often we've seen disasters where people have had to pull back for as much as a couple of weeks and then go back in, do the cleanup, and start over. These people know that they may never go home. In fact, in our town hall meeting in Houston yesterday, probably 80% of the participants said they had no intention of ever returning to the New Orleans area because they know there's just nothing left for them. So they're aimless at this point and don't know where they're headed. but yet they're putting one foot in front of the other. They're carrying themselves with dignity, and there's that little flicker of hope.
Well, if they're not going back to their homes, how important is it, Phil, for them to find a reasonable sense of home, or at least a place that they can call home for more than a couple of days? In other words, instead of being shuttled from shelter to shelter, how important is it, and how quickly are these people going to have to be given some sense of home?
Well, you know, Matt, it's kind of a tension right now, and I can tell you they are so appreciative of everything that is being done for them in the shelters. And so many of them are wanting to get on with their lives. But I talked to a number of women yesterday, for example, who said they aren't leaving that shelter until they get information about their loved ones, because they know as soon as they change locations, as soon as they're adopted by a family, as soon as they get out, then they know that's another layer where they can't be found. They told me they feel guilt if they go to bed at night because they want to stay up and watch the board and see if something gets posted. And they were saying, you know, it's like if you go to bed instead of watching the poster board where they're putting new information, it's like you've given up, and they feel guilty. Right now, it's information that they're looking for, and they're afraid to move. But they're going to have to, of course, find homes. And the long-term care is something that we're really working on with a corporate challenge to get, and we've got so many that are offering clothing long-term, building supplies long-term, and different kinds of housing.
And Phil, I've only got about 30 seconds left. What might the relief workers be going through? I'm not talking about the people there in Houston and Dallas, but the people back in New Orleans and along the Gulf Coast. What type of psychological stress are they under?
Matt, I think they are as or more traumatized than the evacuees themselves, because they're going from story to story to story. We've had police officers committing suicide in New Orleans. We've had relief workers that are just absolutely walking away because they just can't take another heartbreaking story. But it's amazing how much giving has been going on in Louisiana, and I've never been prouder to be a Texan, I can tell you for sure.
All right, Dr. Phil McGraw. Phil, good that you're there, and thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Matt. I'll see you next week.
You got it. Up next, can New Orleans bounce back after Hurricane Katrina? We'll ask the city's longtime congressman right after this.
Cholesterol comes from two sources. It's not only from that buttered crab, but from Krabby Aunt Betty. And not just from that ice cream pop, but from Mom and Pop as well. Your cholesterol doesn't just come from food. It also has a lot to do with family history. Ask your doctor about Vytorin. A healthy diet is important, but when it's not enough, adding Vytorin can help. Vytorin treats the two sources of cholesterol, food, and what your body makes naturally based on family history. Vytorin was proven in clinical studies to lower bad cholesterol more than Lipitor alone. Vytorin is not for everyone, including people with liver problems, women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Unexplained muscle pain or weakness could be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Vytorin may interact with other medicines or certain foods, increasing your risk of getting this serious side effect. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. Follow a healthy diet and ask your doctor about adding Vytorin. For the two sources of cholesterol, remember the name Vytorin. That's Vytorin.
Now people with sensitive teeth can get excited about the ice cream man again. Imagine a dental plan that's sensitive to your desires. Introducing Crest Sensitivity with whitening plus scope freshness. Finally, the maximum strength sensitivity protection you need.
Can I get you?
With the whitening and scope freshness you want. Crest Sensitivity, part of the Crest Dental Plan for healthy, beautiful smiles for life.
Jack, come on, you're almost there. I can't. Don't look down, look into my eyes. We're almost there, come on. Okay, come on.
Yeah, looks like you guys are ready to climb.
Somewhere between the helicopter tour, deep sea fishing, and the rock wall, it hits you. This is way more than a cruise. See for yourself at RoyalCaribbean.com and get out there.
Introducing Almay Intense Eye Color. Shadow, liner, and mascara in expertly coordinated shades for your eye color. It's the color of your eyes intensified. Only from Almay.
Where did I get this glow? In Bermuda? Or from a wild fling?
with a moisturizer. New Jergens Natural Glow. Moisturize daily to keep your healthy summer glow all year long. Jergens glowing skin is in.
I'm Stanley Johnson. I've got a great family. I've got a 4-bedroom house in a great community. Like my car? It's new. I even belong to the local golf club. And how do I do it? I'm in debt up to my eyeballs. I can barely pay my finance charges. Somebody help me.
Need to consolidate your debt? Refinance now at LendingTree. Get up to 4 real offers in minutes and lower your monthly payment. Refinance at LendingTree.com.
And we are back at 8:19. New Orleans holds a special place in the hearts of millions of Americans, and everyone is rooting for the Big Easy to bounce back. Congressman William Jefferson has represented the people of New Orleans since 1991, and on Friday he accompanied President Bush on his tour of his beloved, ravaged city. The congressman is in Baton Rouge, Louisiana this morning. Congressman Jefferson, good morning to you, and thanks for your patience.
Good morning. Thank you.
Within the last 48 hours, we're seeing and hearing reports of a lot of progress being made in New Orleans. Is that, in fact, what you are seeing personally?
Yes. Since the president's visit on Friday, a lot has changed down there. I mean, we were suffering for the first 3 days without any real help. But in the last 48 hours, things have picked up. The levee is being repaired. The rescue effort has really picked up. Relocation has taken place quite handily. And now a big issue, as I just heard someone talking about, is going to be relocating people, resettling people back in our state on an interim basis so that they don't lose that connection with Louisiana. And then down the road, a massive federal commitment to rebuilding our city.
Congressman Jefferson, you're talking long-term there, but of short-term, of course, there's still the matter of some people who remain to be evacuated. To your knowledge, how many people are we talking about?
Well, there are probably still several thousand people to be evacuated from their homes. And, of course, that is still ongoing and taking place at a very high pace. But after that, of course, the grim task of recovering those we have lost is going to take a great deal of time and has to be done with honor and with patience. But it's going to be a very tough time for us in the city. But we're optimistic. We're looking forward as well as we can to getting our hands around this problem and rebuilding our city and reestablishing the lives of people who've been moved out now, to relocate them, resettle them back into Louisiana.
There is an issue, though, with those who are resisting orders to evacuate and are trying to stay in their homes. What do you say to those now who continue to remain in possibly a situation that could continue to endanger their lives?
Yesterday we talked about mapping the city with respect to the health issues that are presented, and frankly, in places where people are in situations where they are creating a problem for their health or the health of others, we have to make decisions about getting those people out, whether they want to get out or not. There are lots of places in the city now that are getting much drier where you can tolerate someone staying there, but where it's a health risk for them or others, or a safety risk, or they expect people to come in every day and bring food and water, it's going to be unreasonable. So we have to get those people out, whether they want to get out or not.
So you'll be forcing them out of their homes then?
If people are in places where we know it's going to be bad for their health or the health of others and their safety, yes, ma'am, it's going to come a point where we have to do that. We don't want to have our city a ghost town where there isn't anyone there. Where people can stay safely, we want them to stay there because we've got to start our economy up. We've got to have life in New Orleans. But there are people now who are in places where water is very high, where they are in very unsafe conditions, and where they cannot be fed every day. We've got to get those people out.
And Congressman Jefferson, you toured the areas devastated on Friday along with the president. I'm wondering if you can share some of his reaction, what he said to you at what he saw.
Well, the president could not believe what he saw on the Gulf Coast coming in and then flying over the city of New Orleans. Just massive devastation. And I think it really was heart-wrenching for him as well as for all of us. Mm-hmm. And I believe he comes out of this with a firmer commitment. It's going to take his leadership to move massive packages of aid and support for the people who've been devastated by this storm. And so we're grateful for that. But it's also going to take a commitment on the part of our Congress, all of our leaders there and the rest of us, to make sure this commitment actually is real and produces the results and appropriations and support we'll need over the long term.
Troubling times for this nation, for Congress, this administration, and in fact, Congressman Jefferson, you were critical of the administration, saying the government really didn't step up and do its job. It was just a totally unacceptable response. What happened here, and are you confident that now things can be turned around for the better?
Well, the first 3 days, you had the state and local people working virtually alone on a rescue effort and on the effort of securing the city. Since in the last 24, 48 hours, maybe a little more than that now, we've seen a great influx of military people, both active duty and reserve. We've seen some relief for our local police authorities, police officials, and for hopefully now our local fire officials.
Right.
And we've seen a stepped-up effort at recovery and relocation of people to evacuation centers. So all that's been very, very good in the last 48 hours.
Congressman
we have
Jefferson,
to make sure that this is sustained and we keep moving forward on this
and
effort.
we wish you all the best. Thank you so much, Congressman William
Thank
Jefferson.
you very much.
And we'll be back after these messages and your local news.
When news breaks,
We have stunning exclusive video of Hurricane Katrina.
America watches today
There has been a huge development overnight.
first.
How difficult is it for you to find reassuring words for the citizens of your state?
America's #1 morning show. Live for today on NBC.
All across America, there are people with hopes, people with dreams.
My niece was in a horrendous car accident.
I'm hoping that I can play all the sports that I used to play.
NBC Fridays.
Never underestimate the impact that people can have on another life when you pull together.
One show will grant more than just wishes. It will change people's lives. 3 Wishes, Friday, September 23rd at 9/8 Central.
And all the things I had in mind for you and me. They say something new, something new. There's something you do, there's something you do, something you do. They say something new.
Why should you donate your vehicle to Portland Rescue Mission? Because qualified mechanics can recondition your car, offering you the opportunity to deduct the full fair market value. So call Portland Rescue Mission today at 503-MISSION.
Did you know there's a natural way to increase your athletic performance up to 2.5 times? Have your spine checked frequently. Let us show you how to take charge of your health and your life.
Turn to Tracy Berry on Northwest News Channel 8.
Save big this weekend at the Ron Tonkin family of dealerships Labor Day weekend sale.
This is a News Channel 8 update.
Good morning, everyone. It's 8:27, currently 55 degrees here in downtown Portland this morning. I'm Brenda Braxton along with Debbie Duran. Here's what's making news. About 1,000 Katrina evacuees will arrive in Portland later this week. They'll stay at the old Washington High School. The city is going to help the adults there find jobs, and Portland Public Schools will integrate children into the classrooms. The evacuees could stay as long as 6 months. Washington State is also preparing to welcome about 2,000 evacuees. And a reminder about an easy way to help those hurricane survivors. You can donate to the American Red Cross at any U.S. bank branch or send a check to Post Office Box 5004 in Portland, 97208. You can also donate online at kgw.com. So far, you've helped us raise more than $245,000 for the American Red Cross. Now here's Michael Convery with a final look at our holiday drive.
And it's a holiday light drive out here, no doubt about it. Inbound I-84 looking great, moving down towards the downtown area. I-5 northbound, an easy trip coming up through the Terwilliger curves. And the drive over on I-205 also looks real good as you move up into Westland past 10th Street. Live from the traffic center, I'm Michael Convery. Dave Selesky's got our forecast.
Michael, thank you very much. We have fair skies outside now. There are some clouds, but also plenty of sunshine. It's 55 degrees out there. Here's the forecast for you today. Morning clouds will give way to plenty of afternoon sunshine, and our high this afternoon reaching 76. Now, Brenda and Debbie, over to you.
Thank you, Dave. That's our report for now, but we'll be back with another local news update at 8:56. Have a great day.
Mega stars, join our dream team. So cool, Gwen Stefani.
You know you were all the talk when you had 2 weddings.
Enrique Iglesias.
So the rumors are that you were married.
And Hilary Duff, next Oprah.
Today at 4 on News Channel 8.
Who built these wind turbines and the hundreds more that have followed? The way I see it, it's the thousands of PGE customers who've signed up for renewable energy options. It's your demand that's creating supply and working toward a cleaner, healthier Oregon. So thanks, and keep it up, because this isn't really about wind power. It's a story about the power of choice.
Renewable power options. Enroll at portlandgeneral.com.
You pay for car insurance year after year, but you may not feel like you get a whole lot back. Allstate is about to change that forever. With features like deductible rewards that give you $100 off your deductible every year you go without an accident. All starting the day you sign up. Safe drivers should be rewarded even more. That's Allstate stand. Are you in good hands?
They lost over 750 pounds and inspired a nation. Next Tuesday, the journey begins again. The Biggest Loser premieres 8/7 Central on NBC.
And we're back at 8:30 on a Monday morning. It's the 5th day of September 2005. Take a look, and we haven't spent enough time with these people, so take a look at the great folks gathered outside Studio 1A in the heart of Midtown Manhattan on this Labor Day morning. A lot of people enjoying a long weekend. Hopefully you are as well. And we thank these people for stopping by. It's a beautiful day. And it's kind of a beautiful morning. Also, we had a great weekend here. Beautiful low temperatures, no humidity, and we're getting more of the same today. Outside the studio, I'm Matt Lauer, along with Natalie Morales, who's filling in while Katie is off today because Katie is actually traveling on her way to New Orleans. She'll broadcast live from there tomorrow morning. Coming up in this half hour, we're going to talk about some really emotional stories. When Hurricane Katrina hit the Gulf Coast, a lot of families were split up. A lot of premature babies, actually, were in hospitals being cared for. Their parents had to evacuate, and this morning, we're going to show you one very emotional reunion.
And we're also going to be talking with the director for the Center of Missing and Exploited Children, who's now helping in the efforts to try to reunite some of those families as well. Also coming up, we do have some good news as well, talking about wedding day fast around the corner for Sarah and Mark, our hometown wedding couple. And today it is your turn to help pick her hairstyle for the upcoming wedding, which is now just 2 weeks away, September 16th.
It's a week from this coming Friday. You know, I have to say, year after year when we do these weddings, I'm always shocked that the hairstyle is one of the most talked about and voted on ideas of the entire process.
And
so we'll
this
look forward
time
to that.
even more so, perhaps, because Sarah has this long mane of hair.
Long
so
flowing mane.
We'll have to see what they end up deciding.
And ironically, Mark has no hair at all. Anyway, before we go any further, for that, we turn to WNBC's Chris Cimino, who has been ably filling in for Al Roker while he's off for a little while. Chris?
Thanks very much. Al's still on the mend. He hopes to be back next week. Obviously, while he's on the mend, he's opened up an airline. It says, "We flew Big Al to Lima, Ohio." Explain that to me.
He needed to do a fundraiser for Lima, Ohio.
Right.
So we took our plane and we flew him so we could get him back to the Today Show.
Oh, you flew him?
We flew him.
I know he's a superhero. I thought you were on his back. Here he is, Al Roker to save the day. Let's get a look nationally what's going on across the country. Temperature-wise, we've got some hot stuff still holding on in the western high plains. Temperatures in the 90s. Eastern slopes of the Rockies close to 90. The Northeast and the Great Lakes generally 70s and 80s, very comfortable. Still hot and steamy, unfortunately, along the Gulf Coast. There could be some isolated thunderstorms there today. Southern third of Florida, from Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, down towards Miami. Some heavy rain, maybe locally 1 to 3 inches today. That's a look at the national weather. Here's a look now at your local forecast.
Good morning and welcome to a Monday. Look at that shot this morning from our Northwest Sky Cam in Newport over at the Embarcadero. Beautiful fair skies there this morning. High pressure's in place, fair and dry conditions all across the Pacific Northwest. Storm track, what there is of it's heading off to the north into parts of British Columbia. So we stay fair and dry today. As a matter of fact, today is the coolest day of the week. But look at our forecast. After the morning clouds burn off, we'll have sunny skies, our high 76.
The National Guard, Ohio, Newark, Ohio. Thanks for coming on out this morning. Let's send it back over to Matt.
All right, Chris, thanks very much. I have found what I believe to be the most pathetic sign of the morning here. Look at this. I mean, Dean and DeLuca, that's right there. It's so last minute. No planning, no nothing, right? And you know what? It got you on TV. Nice to have you all here. When we come back, good things come in tiny packages. An emotional reunion. But first on a Monday morning, this is Today on NBC. So pathetic.
Hey, I came as soon as I heard about Muffin.
He was the sweetest cat ever.
I know. It's all right.
He's just so cute.
Mocha.
No, baby, muffin.
Muffin, yeah, muffin. The cat.
The tempting DQ latte in mocha, cappuccino, French vanilla, and new caramel. Do one.
In a world besieged by boredom, a band of heroes unites to save the day from the everyday. Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus presents the greatest show on earth. This time, everyone gets in on the act.
Tickets are on sale now, playing September 8th through the 11th, and come an hour before showtime for the free all-access pre-show.
1, 2, 3. Reach for dairy and reach your goal of a trimmer waist. Clinical studies indicate 3 servings of cheese, milk, or yogurt each day can give better results in trimming waistlines than cutting calories alone. Because dairy's natural mix of nutrients helps the body lose more inches around the waist. 1, 2, 3. It's in your reach. See other women's success and learn more at 3aday.org.
Wix Furniture's biggest Labor Day sale ever. Every room package store-wide is on sale. Like this 5-piece dining room from $4.99. Plus, 0 minimum purchase. 0 interest till 2010. Every room package store-wide is on sale. Hurry, store-wide sale ends Tuesday.
We've all seen far too much tragedy in the weeks since Hurricane Katrina, but there are glimmers of hope for the future as well. NBC's Jennifer London was present for one such moment, reuniting a new baby with her parents.
Meet the newest residents of Slidell, Louisiana, and the youngest survivors of Hurricane Katrina.
This one's Nolan, and this one's Gavin.
And this is baby Malia Charles.
Isn't she adorable?
Born on August 25th, she was just 4 days old when the storm hit. Dr. Claudia Schuth is head of the neonatal intensive care unit.
Right after the baby was born, we had to evacuate all the parents.
Baby Malia was born with a respiratory illness and couldn't leave the hospital with her mom and dad.
In all, 10 tiny infants weathered the deadly storm here in the hospital, like this little baby named Precious, who weighed just 2 pounds when she was born.
In case of flooding, the babies were moved to a higher floor. And while the weather raged outside, 12 dedicated nurses watched over them.
We are all very, very grateful that these children have all survived.
The day after the hurricane, baby Malia's parents came to the hospital, but had to leave her there because she still needed medical attention. And because hurricane damage was so extensive in Slidell, they weren't able to have any more contact with the hospital. Making matters worse,
they were hearing on the news that the hospital had evacuated, that the hospital was not here anymore.
It took days for baby Malia's parents to separate fact from fiction and find out their baby was okay. 6 days after Hurricane Katrina, a midnight reunion.
With the hurricane and everything, moving around from town to town was trying to adjust with our children. It's very hard, but I'm just glad that we're here now. We can go home and she's all better.
It's a mother and child reunion even Mother Nature and all her fury couldn't prevent. For today, Jennifer London, NBC News, Slidell, Louisiana.
Ernie Allen is the president and CEO of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Ernie, good morning to you.
Good morning, Natalie.
I understand the Justice Department has asked your organization for help to try to relocate some of the children and reunite them with their parents. Can you tell me how difficult this job is going to be?
Natalie, it's going to be a massive task. There are literally thousands of parents in shelters who don't know where their children are, children in shelters who don't know where their parents are. What we've been asked to do by the Justice Department is create a special national hotline to use our website to work with law enforcement at the local and state level, the FBI and state clearinghouses, to try to increase the communication and coordination and reunite more families.
And that really is the problem. I mean, how will you begin to deal with the lack of communication and the lack of information in those devastated areas?
Well, we have some people on the ground from our Team Adam project. They're going into the shelters. They're talking to the people. We have digital cameras that have been provided. We're photographing people. We're going to be putting those pictures on the websites. And we're going to basically ask for help from the public. We want you to go to the hotline, provide information, go to the website. The goal is to identify these children and these missing people one person at a time.
I understand that your group has already arranged for some reunions. Some families were brought together in San Antonio on Sunday. Can you tell us about that?
Well, Natalie, I think it's really representative of the larger problem. 7 children, small children, aged 6 months to 6 years, were rescued off a rooftop in New Orleans and ended up in a shelter in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Working with social workers in Louisiana and Texas, our people were able to identify that the mothers of the children were in a shelter in San Antonio. And yesterday, military aircraft flew those 7 children from Baton Rouge to San Antonio to be reunited with their mothers. We think it's encouraging, but it's just the beginning.
And sadly, your group also has volunteers on the ground to help identify those children who were lost or killed. Can you give us an idea of how many we're talking about at this point, to your knowledge, and how exactly will you be doing that?
Well, it's obviously very early, and certainly we expect the toll to increase as the waters decline. But basically what we're going to be doing is using forensic artists, forensic technology, working with our law enforcement partners to try to identify these unidentified deceased victims. The reality is, for searching families, the worst is the not knowing, and we're going to see if we can't help bring closure to these searching families.
And we certainly appreciate all your efforts and your help. Ernie Allen, thank you. And we do want to put up those numbers for you. If you can help identify children missing and found after Hurricane Katrina, starting today at noon Eastern Time, you can call the Katrina Missing Persons Hotline at 1-888-544-5475. And you can also go to missingkids.com. And still ahead, has New Orleans turned a corner? We'll ask the city's mayor. But first, this is Today on NBC.
On your mark, get set, save.
Circuit City's Labor Day sale is happening now. Come in today and save on digital cameras, big screens, computers, camcorders, car audio, and more. And this Sunday and Monday only, all CDs are just $9.88 each. Choose from the hottest hits like Mariah Carey, Coldplay, and Faith Hill. It's all happening now at Circuit City's Labor Day sale.
When you're standing on the edge of nowhere, there's only one way up, so your heart's gotta go there. And through the darkest nights, see the light shine bright. When heroes fall in love or war, they live forever. This is a song for the lonely. Can you hear me tonight? Can you hear this prayer? Someone's there for you. So let it find you. Wherever you may go, I'm right beside you. You don't have to look.
Don't burn money to stay warm this winter. Save money heating your home with Lopi. Now is the perfect time to buy and install a new clean-burning, energy-efficient Lopi stove or fireplace insert. Don't wait till it's freezing outside. Call your Lopi dealer today and cut heating costs this winter. Lopi, America's favorite fire. Available at your local Lopi dealer. Now on sale at Lysac Stoves with locations in Portland and Milwaukee.
Give your skin a healthy summer glow.
This morning on Today Throws a Hometown Wedding, we're going to take a look at the 4 hairstyles our bride Sarah may be wearing as she walks down the aisle. And remember, it's your vote that will help make sure that her special day isn't a bad hair day. Sarah Raley and Mark Dale are here along with Today contributor Louis Licari of Louis Licari's Salon. Good to have you all here again.
Thank you.
Good morning. You had a nice weekend and a good Labor Day.
Ah, the best.
Good. Louis, let me ask you first, what advice do you give brides before their big day? How should they, start planning their hairdos?
Well, first of all, the minute you say I do, well, I guess number 1, you should call up your family. But 2,
and then find a place, because that takes forever.
Find a hairdresser that you're comfortable with.
Right.
Remember that often the hairdresser that cuts your hair, it's a separate skill set to do the updos, the downdos, the wedding hairdos. So find someone that you like. Then make sure he or she is available.
Okay, all right, good idea. And I know that Sarah and Mark had a great time at the salon. Let's take a look at some of what you were able to do.
All righty.
We're Sarah and Mark. I'm here to get my hair done. All right, that's obviously. Okay.
We're going to do 4 really great hairdos on you.
Okay.
It really should be a little bit shorter, but I know you're not into that, so I'm not going to force you.
I'm not attached to having my hair this long. I just remember looking in the mirror and thinking, oh, tomorrow's hair day.
10 inches, we can send it to Locks of Love. Your hair, you're going to look more beautiful, and we're doing it for a great cause. There it goes.
That's good. Don't I look beautiful?
I'm too sexy for my shirt.
Give it that.
My shirt so sexy it hurts. But I like it, I love it, I want some more of it. I try so hard, I can't rise above it.
Mark, you enjoying your manicure?
I certainly am. Are you enjoying your hairstyle?
I am enjoying it.
Hold the press, Sarah. You cut your hair.
Yes,
Let's see it. Let's see. You've got the 10 inches here.
10.5 inches.
10.5 inches, and we're going to send it to Locks of Love.
Was that painful to do, or did you want to do this?
The reason I decided to do it, I definitely didn't have any pressure from Louis or Jennifer at the salon, but when I had my dress fitting, my hair just covered the back of my dress completely.
Right.
And it was kind of a decision I made on my own at the very last minute.
And your hair is still very long and gorgeous, so you didn't lose out on all that much.
Look how long it is. Yeah, it's still very long, very pretty hair.
And it's beautiful. Louis, you added some blonde highlights.
We added some blonde highlights. And that's another tip, by the way. Before the wedding,
turn around.
Do not make any dramatic color changes. Keep it simple, keep it soft.
So don't go for the blue dye around your wedding.
Yes.
Okay,
when the bride walks down the aisle, you want the audience to go, oh my God, she looks gorgeous. You don't want them to go, oh my God.
Mark, you might be able to use some of that hair, but
between he and my dad.
You had a good time as well, didn't you?
I did. Louis looked over at one point and said, "Are you not having fun here?" And I said, "Oh, it's okay."
Yeah,
I read Cosmo
enjoying
and Glamour.
That face mask a little too much there.
And he said, "Let's pamper him a little bit too."
Let's take a look at some of the styles you created as well. Starting first with the elegant updo. Tell us how you did this.
All right, now this is all Jennifer Lawrence, and what we had to do here is, first of all, her hair is so thick that we had to put it in 2 ponytails. The reason we did 2 ponytails is because one would not be give it enough support. And then she twisted it and coiled it into this. We're calling it a bun, but it's not a bun. It's much more elaborate. And the great thing about this is this is up and off her face, and I can't give away too much about the dress, but it's going to work great with her neckline. It'll just
and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And next, let's talk about the braided updo, another updo look here, and tell us what Jennifer did here.
Right. This is the Victorian. And here what Jennifer did is she absolutely gave 2 braids. This is a very simple hairstyle. And again, her hair is very long. Then she wove the braids into each other and then pinned them underneath. You see how she's doing it so it's finished? And then you see she gave this flower, and what we did is we used 3 different shades of white. The reason we used the flower is if she takes off her veil, she'll still have a wedding detail Flowers, by the way, are very in this season in the hair.
All right. Also, the little crystals and the little diamond studs.
Yes,
right,
especially on the first hairstyle, which I should have said. We had little crystals, diamond studs in the hair, will just give you that sparkle. She will look like the star she is of the day.
Our third look is the romantic look. This is long, loose, flowing hair, almost like she's wearing it now, right, Louis?
Absolutely. And one of the first thing we did, well, she's doing the curling here, but we did a side part. The side part, because the side part is most flattering on most people, and it is here, in fact, on Sarah. And then she gave her loose, and she tucked it behind her ears, but softly, and then the curls will cover it. The reason we tucked it behind her ears is because we want the hair to look good the whole wedding day long.
You don't want her to have to fuss or tuck behind right
Right.
here.
We want to see her face. We want to see. She is beautiful. We want to show her off.
You can take him home with you, too, right? And finally, the modern look, which is more of like a ponytail coif, I suppose.
Right. This is the most simple. It's the modern look. And what Jennifer did here is she slightly teased the top, and then she gave her a simple ponytail, but then she took out pieces of the ponytail, braided it around it, and it's a very simple hairstyle. Again, it shows her face, and she also took off a few pieces around to add softness and just to look how great she looks.
Gorgeous. I don't know, Mark. It's tough. Either way, she's going to look gorgeous.
She could have my haircut and look gorgeous,
exactly.
I think. So.
Okay, he won.
I had to get one up on Louis.
Yeah, exactly.
He absolutely won.
So I know that you can't really say whether or not you have a preference or not, but do you like your hair up or down, generally speaking?
I can't really say. I figured at least this way, if my hair is voted down, America Chooses, you'll still be able to see the beauty of my dress. If it is voted down.
And the beauty of your face.
Yes.
All right, Sarah, Mark, Louis Licari, thank you. And remember, it is up to you to help decide how Sarah will wear her hair on her wedding day, which is coming up Friday, September 16th. So will it be choice number 1, the elegant updo with the decorative diamond studs? Choice number 2, the Victorian look with crisscrossed braids accented by a flower. Style number 3, the soft romantic look with loose curls. Or number 4, the modern feel with a braid wrapped ponytail. And again, you have until Thursday, 5 p.m. to cast your vote on our website at today.msnbc.com, and we'll reveal the winning hairstyle on this Friday. And coming up next, it's only rock and roll, and he likes it. Matt goes backstage with the Rolling Stones. But first, this is Today on NBC.
Good job. Thanks.
Do you suffer from sore feet? Many people have found relief from sore feet, back, knee, or even hip pain by calling the Good Feet store.
I had extreme foot pain, so I went to the doctor and he diagnosed me with plantar fasciitis and told me to wear my sneakers all the time. So I couldn't wear any of my dress shoes or sandals, but then I went to the Good Feet store and got arch supports, and now I can wear any shoe I want.
Thanks to the Good Feet store, I'm bowling 3 nights a week pain-free.
Hurry into the Good Feet store today.
Corn syrup? You wouldn't buy fruit with corn syrup or artificial preservatives. Why buy fruit drinks with them? Unlike fruit drinks, Juicy Juice is 100% juice with vitamin C. In fact, 1 serving of Juicy Juice counts as a serving of fruit, because we like to give them 100%, just like you do. Juicy Juice, the very best juice for the very best kids.
Hey, look, there's a shooting star.
Let's both make a wish. Yes.
Aren't you wishing for a Subway sub right now? Like the new mouth-watering barbecue steak and Monterey cheddar cheese sub? With delicious strips of steak, tasty barbecue sauce, and melt-in-your-mouth cheese. All on freshly baked bread and toasted to perfection. Yum, yum, and more yum. Subway. Eat fresh.
Good news for Rolling Stones fans. Tomorrow, the band releases their new CD called A Bigger Bang with 16 brand new songs. I recently caught up with the group in Hartford, Connecticut, the second stop on their worldwide tour, and they gave me exclusive backstage access in the hours leading up to the concert.
How many rehearsal shows do you do on this actual stage?
Maybe 2.
This is a good view.
That's your center spot.
So how tightly choreographed is the show? In other words, how many times during the show do you have to be in a specific spot?
I don't have to be anyway. The lighting people kind of prefer to know when I'm going to do something because otherwise they lose me. You know?
Right.
But, it's pretty loose. If it's a rock show, it's not, a ballet. I do have certain moments when I say, okay, I'm probably going to come up here in Sympathy for the Devil, but if I don't, I might forget, and then I go, I'll do it in another number, so it's very loose.
It's still ad-lib.
It's very ad-lib for me.
I'm so cold, she's so cold, cold. I'm so hot for her, she's so cold.
What's amazing when you come here behind the scenes is how many moving parts there are and how many little details have to come together on stage.
It is one of the first few shows on any tour. You kind of look at what you've built and you've got the sound system, you've got the lights, you've got the stage, you've got the band, and you say, oh, hopefully it all clicks at once, Hi, babes. Bye.
And tomorrow I'll have more with the Rolling Stones. That's on today, and then Friday night on Dateline NBC.
You're feeling pretty cool right about now, right?
Yeah, me and Mick
Hanging
and
out
Keith,
with Mick and
like
Keith.
that. Still ahead, Love in Bloom, the couple who got married in a hurricane shelter.
But first, these messages and your local news.
On a special Dateline Monday, the devastating aftermath of Hurricane Katrina.
No home, no shelter. What they gonna do? What we gonna do?
As the relief effort continues, more and more help arrives.
We have a responsibility at the federal level to help save life.
But is it enough? Dateline tonight, NBC 8/7 Central.
Let Empire Glass replace your cracked windshield, and we'll give you 24 free dinners to Sherry's Restaurants, where you'll enjoy great food and delicious pies all day, every day. And we offer free mobile service to your home or office. So for the highest quality windshields and 24 free dinners to Sherry's, call Empire Glass today at 503-251-9881. And remember, when you think glass, think Empire.
Save big this weekend at the Ron Tonkin family of dealerships Labor Day weekend sale.
This is a News Channel 8 update.
Good morning, everyone. It's 8:56. Our current temperature downtown this morning, 55 degrees. I'm Brenda Braxton along with Debbie Duran. Here's what's happening today. 4 people face charges after a violent home invasion in Vancouver. It happened Saturday night in the 3300 block of X Street. Police say 2 men with a gun barged into a home and hit a man with the gun, but he's not seriously hurt this morning. Police say the men stole cash and another gun. A nearby police officer stopped the car leaving the scene and arrested 4 people inside. About 1,000 Katrina evacuees will arrive in Portland a little later this week. They'll be housed at the Washington High School, the old Washington High School. The city is going to help adults find jobs, and Portland Public Schools will integrate children into classrooms. And you can still help hurricane survivors with a financial donation to the Red Cross. Any U.S. bank is accepting donations, or you can mail them. The address is Post Office Box 5004 here in Portland, and the zip code is 97208. You can also hop on your computer and donate online at kgw.com. Now with a look at our Labor Day weather forecast, here's Dave Selesky.
Well, a pretty easy forecast today, Brenda. We do have a ridge of high pressure in place all across the Pacific Northwest, and that's going to allow for basically sunny skies on the west side, also on the east side of the Cascades. So for you folks who are out and about today, getting ready to head back into town, fair skies most of the day. As a matter of fact, here is our forecast. Mostly sunny skies. Today's high is 76 degrees. Tonight, going to be fair, cool, 55. The overnight lows. As a matter of fact, today, the coolest day of the entire week. Tomorrow, we're at 80. And we'll stay in the upper 70s and low 80s all week long. Brenda, back to you and Deb.
Dave, thank you. We'll be back at 9:26 this morning with another news update. Hope you can join us. In the meantime, have a good morning.
The 2005 Univision Latino Career Fair, presented by U.S. Bank and WorkSource Oregon. Whether you are a job seeker, starting a business, or finding recruitment and training resources, you can't afford to miss this event, Tuesday, September 13th at the Oregon Convention Center.
Ready for a home theater in your home? Projectus specializes in transforming spaces into amazing and affordable home theaters. For a home theater designed and installed for less than you ever imagined, visit the Projectus Design Center off I-5 at Southwest Carmen Drive or projectus.com.
Today exclusive. Matt's rolling with the Stones.
It's one of my nightmares.
Go backstage with the band. Only on Today on NBC.
This News Channel 8 segment is brought to you by Lloyd Center Pharmacy. Pharmacy as it was meant to be, personalized just for you.
Don't miss the 5th Annual Northwest Quilting Expo at the Portland Expo Center, September 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. View a juried quilt show, take classes from national teachers, and browse the extensive vendor mall. See more than 75 quilts from Hoffman's 2005 Challenge and the acclaimed local quilt group, the Cover to Cover Book Club Quilters. Admission is $7.50. Coupons for $2 off are available at the following local quilt shops: The Common Thread, The Pine Needle, The Quilt Block, and Fano Creek Calicos. Or visit the expo website at nwquiltingexpo.com.
There's nothing a chef likes better than serving up something special.
From Friday night's lemon dill salmon to Wednesdays and Saturdays sizzling steak.
I can't wait to try it.
Every night is special at Izzy's. On Tuesday, it's teriyaki chicken and coconut shrimp. On Mondays and Thursdays, roast chicken and barbecue rib tips. Plus our famous salad, dessert, and pizza bars every day and night of the week. Izzy's, a very special place for pizza and a whole lot more.
Judge Roberts has earned the nation's confidence, and I'm pleased to announce that I will nominate him to serve as the 17th Chief Justice of the Supreme Court.
That is President Bush from a little earlier this morning, nominating John Roberts to succeed William Rehnquist as Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. We're going to have more on that developing story coming up in just a couple of minutes. And New Orleans rescue workers are seeing the devastation firsthand as more bodies are being discovered, and some of the survivors found alive are refusing now to leave their homes. The Homeland Security Chief calls it an ugly scene. On that note, welcome back to another hour of Today on this Monday morning. It's the 5th day of September, 2005, a somber Labor Day on the Gulf Coast, as you might imagine. Meanwhile, back inside Studio 1A here in New York, I'm Matt Lauer, along with Natalie Morales, who's filling in while Katie's actually traveling today on her way to New Orleans, and we'll hear from her live tomorrow morning. And in just a moment, we'll take you for the latest on the ground.
All right. Also, Matt, in this half hour, a man who has criticized the response to Hurricane Katrina as a tragedy and a disgrace. And those are just his public comments. New Orleans Mayor Ray Nagin has been on the front lines since the storm blew in, and he's going to talk with us as well this morning.
But let's begin with the very latest on the president's nomination now of John Roberts to Chief Justice of the Supreme Court from Kelly O'Donnell at the White House. Kelly, good morning to you.
Good morning, Matt. Senior aides here say the president has been planning to elevate John Roberts to the position of Chief Justice for quite some time, upon the eventual retirement of Judge Rehnquist or perhaps upon his passing. When that happened this weekend, the president invited Roberts here. They spoke yesterday afternoon at about 5:30 for 30 or 40 minutes. He was invited back this morning, and he was offered the position at 7:15 a.m. in the Oval Office, about 45 minutes before the president announced it to the nation. Aides say the president was prepared to act quickly.
The passing of Chief Justice William Rehnquist leaves the Senate chair empty. Just 4 weeks left before the Supreme Court reconvenes. It is in the interest of the court and the country to have a Chief Justice on the bench on the first full day of the fall term.
And this morning, the White House notified Justice Stevens, the elder member of the court, to let him know to notify the other justices. The chief of staff here, Andy Card, reached out to senators to inform them of the decision. The White House says it has not spoken to Justice O'Connor yet, and they repeated her pledge to stay on until her vacancy is filled. But the White House also says it expects to move quickly because much of the homework has been done about choosing another potential nominee. Matt?
All right, Kelly, thanks very much. Kelly O'Donnell at the White House for us this morning. It's 2 minutes after the hour. Here's Natalie.
All right, Matt, the president also getting ready to tour some of the devastated areas once again. For the very latest from New Orleans right now, we want to go to Weekend Today's Campbell Brown.
So what are you doing?
Nothing.
Are you writing thank you notes again?
I just want the farmers and growers to know how much we appreciate their fruits and vegetables.
We talked about this. You can't write thank you cards every day.
But we get fresh shipments every day.
Hagen Law number 2. Offer the highest quality produce delivered fresh 7 days a week. At Hagen, we do more to bring you the freshest choices every day.
Oh, Chip.
Trésor, 15 years of love. Now with the ring adorned with Swarovski crystals. Wear it and be treasured. Lancôme, your gift of beauty with any 2650 Lancôme purchase.